I am a prince. Okay, so some developments have happened since my last video, which no one watched, and no one's going to watch this video, and I'm drinking water. I don't know what that was. But, yeah, so clearly some stuff has happened since the last video. The biggest one, which I meant to make a video about as soon as it happened, but I just got so caught up in nothing that I didn't. But, yeah, so I got a haircut. It's pretty freaking cool. It's kind of messy right now, though, because I don't know. This only happened like 2 weeks ago, so I'm still trying to figure out how to style it. I think for the most part, just like this, it looks good. But yeah, so for the past like 3 days, I woke up and I didn't do anything to it. I have product to put in it, but I haven't been putting it in there just because I don't really like the way it makes my hair feel, and at the same time, like I said, it doesn't look half bad, you know, without the product in it. But yeah, for the last couple of days, I've just been waking up and just sort of smoothing it with my hands, and then that being my morning hair routine. And then when I shower, I sort of push it all forward, and that while it's wet, I push it all forward while it's wet, and just sort of leave it to dry, or sometimes I'll like blow dry it for a couple of seconds just on like a medium heat. Yeah, so yeah, and I'm in a different setting today because I'm at my mom's house, and my last 2 videos I filmed at my dad's house. So this is different. But yeah, so I also started an Instagram account with a friend called LGBT_youth_forever. I know, the best name. There are so many of them that there's like so few names to be taken. But yeah, so I did that, and we've been at it for about a week, and we already have about 50 followers. So that's really cool. I am thankful and excited for every single one of them. It's funny because the friend that I'm running it with they're not a flake. They're very dedicated, and I'm very appreciative of their help. But the thing is, they treat it as like a fun thing, and I sort of went about it like a business. Like, what I did was I went through and searched through Instagram to find as many LGBT youth accounts as I could, and I made a list of them according to follower count. And I did this all in like the middle of the night. It didn't take me all that long, but I was buried in post-it notes by the end of it. And so what I did was I made a list first of just all the ones I could find, and then I remade that list by follower count, and then I remade that list again by follower count, color-coded. So, color-coded by ones that were more likely to give us a shout-out, and through ones that were least likely to give us a shout-out. The ones that were most likely to give us a shout-out were already sort of smaller accounts, sort of smaller, newer accounts, because those are just in general easier to come in contact with. So those were in red, and then the next sort of grouping of people with more followers and a little less likely to shout out us, give us a shout out, we're in green, and so on and so forth. And that was so funny because I do not fancy myself as someone who goes about things in that sort of businessy way. So, I don't know, the whole situation made me laugh. I'm rambling. But, yeah, so I guess it's just a couple of life developments. I might cut that entire thing out. I don't know. 3 seconds before hitting the record button, I came up with an idea for this video. So, yeah, I guess we're going to talk about what I came here to talk about now. So, upon creating this Instagram account, one of the tasks I had to take was to search for media to post. And I didn't realize how uneducated I was about this sort of stuff before I started doing this extensive search. Oh my god. Before I started doing this extensive search for stuff to put on this account. And one of the things I learned was that trans men and transmasculine people are far more represented than trans women and trans feminine people. And there was something about that really struck me because, we have all these people out there saying, talking about gender equality. So we have all these people out there who talk about gender equality, and they talk about, equality for men and women. They talk about equality surrounding trans and non-binary people. Gender equality is a big discussion. And it's so odd to me because it's not like, what I'm talking about isn't like people saying trans men are, it's not like people are saying trans men are better than trans women. It's just that there's so much more trans masculine visibility than there is trans feminine visibility. And that just struck me as so odd because, for me, when I started to learn about gender equality, it was feminism. And, making sure women were equal to men. And yet, in the transgender community, there's so little trans women visibility. And, I feel like trans men are a lot more open about putting themselves into the media, social media, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram. You see a lot more trans men than trans women, and, sadly, that makes sense, because, if you think about in everyday society, men are supposed to put themselves out there, and women are not. And when we're talking about the transgender community, people are going to find it more accepting for a woman who wants to be a man. That's not what a transgender man is, but if I were a random cis person who was scrolling through Tumblr and looking at trans men posts, I'm assuming some of them would think a woman who wants to be a man. And so, to the average person, it would make more sense, and it would seem more okay to be a trans man, because, being a man is perceived, even subconsciously, to some people as being better than being a woman. And a trans woman would face a lot more difficulty in the media. a trans woman would get a lot more ridicule for being a trans woman, because women are seen as lesser than men, and why would a man, want to be a woman, as opposed to why would a woman want to be a man? So, yeah, and that's such a disheartening thing to think about, But, that doesn't mean that all trans women are doomed forever. That's why people like me and you exist, to help bring equality, visibility, representation for everyone. So, even though this sucks, it's not going to be this way forever. And it's going to change because of people like me who notice it and who care. And people like you who notice it and who care. So yeah, that was kind of a weird rant. It didn't really have a proper beginning or end. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I plan on I plan to keep on making videos. There it is. I plan to keep on making videos, and I plan to build this up until I rule an empire. I will be your king. But yeah. So I love you guys. By the way, quick thing, I'm not going to be going by Jasper anymore. I decided that name really isn't for me, and I'm currently just going to be going by my birth name, which is Jasmine. So I'm probably going to be changing the name of this account, and I don't plan on keeping it as Jasmine, but since I don't have anything else right now, that's just what I'm having other people call me, because it's easier than saying, oh, I don't have a name. So, but eventually I'll come up with something. I'm thinking Toby. I like Toby. My original, I had thought of Miles a little bit, but there's already a very famous transmasculine YouTuber named Miles, and I'm not gonna deal with that backlash. So, but yeah, that's all. This was just me talking about whatever. I love you so much. If you're seeing this, you mean a world to me. Stay chill.